The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Get up to $750 in cashback rewards each month when you sign up at edgeboost.bet. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Know me, know the voice, know the guy. It's me, really bro, Villain Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service.
How about if you sweep it out?
What's the point? I can't do anything right.
You'll do fine.
Hey, pal. You just blowing from Stupid Town?
I swear the Kings aren't good at basketball.
Zach LaVine, though, had himself a hell of a game last night.
Yeah.
What do you have, 42? 43?
And Sabonis had a triple-double.
Yep.
It was 5-1, too. It wasn't even really worth it. It didn't happen. Whatever, man. All right. The Pistons gave that game away. But they were getting killed on the glass the entire game. Shout out to Valanciunas. Shout out to Valanciunas. 5 minutes, 7 rebounds.
Was it a 3.5 again?
Yeah. It was the 5.5 was significantly spicy, in fact.
Well, I do want to ask you, though, do you play the drop if we hit the underdog, or does that not matter?
You know,
Because technically you hit something.
we never really thought of doing an underdog fantasy drop.
We probably need to. We might need to add one at some point.
Oh, the Courtney Williams drop is on the WNBA feed.
Yeah.
You know what? And that's what I think happens. All that stuff is on the WNBA feed. That's what it is. Let me find the Courtney Williams drop. That could be the underdog drop. That feels like a good drop for that.
Yeah,
all right.
That works.
But we did hit the underdog lineup. And, I mean, I'll give your intro, Scott. Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Yeah, feels good.
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah, feels good. Can't complain. Ended up sweeping. Definitely the way that I thought that the players would show up for the rebounding. The sides, I thought the Sixers would cover. They did. The Heat benched a couple of players, so that worked out to my favor, as I ended up having Ware over the 9.5 rebounds, which got there in the first half. Then on top of that, I ended up having Sabonis 15-plus rebounds. Bit of a sweat there, but he got there as he finished with exactly 15. That was plus, so it was either 205 or plus 210. And then we hit the underdog entry. So I had a full sweep. Can't complain.
Yeah. Underdog entry was a nice cash too. That was a good one. We definitely do need some type of drop for hitting underdog, especially going into the WNBA season. We'll be ready for that when that is ready to get going. We got some injury news that's coming through. We'll save that to the game. We got the chat booming. Shout out to the chat. Make sure you drop a like when you get in, and we can keep this party rolling. We got 10 games to get through, Scott, and you have an interesting sweat going on in the futures market that one of these games is directly impacting the sweat of the futures market. I am very, very interested. Oh, wait, well, not one of these games. That was yesterday. Was that yesterday? Or was that the day? No. What? Oh, no, they play tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. You're good today. That was the other day. Did they win that game? They did win that game against
Beat the Nets.
Yep. So you have an interesting sweat on Toronto. I do too. Not as interesting as yours, but yours is way better. Mine is just a little thing, but I haven't been thinking about that. Last year, I had this same sweat going on with Washington, and I mentioned it, and it came down to the wire. It ended up just not hitting. So I refuse to talk about my futures that I'm waiting on this season. But would you like to share yours?
Yeah, so I have a future parlay that was a free bet that I actually had. And every win total that I had won, except for one. It was a 4-pick win total. I have the Raptors under 29.5 wins. And they have 29 with 4 to go. I think they started the year 8-31. And now suddenly they are at 29 wins with 4 games to go. So they've completely blown the entire tanking procedure And now I have a sweat on my hands. And they play the Hornets tomorrow. Not looking forward to it. They play the Spurs at some point later on. I'm probably going to end up losing. So we'll see what happens. But if
Toronto has 3 games left.
I thought it was 4. There's 3?
No, it's 3.
Okay.
3 games left. They have Charlotte on Wednesday.
Dallas is playing for something.
Dallas on Friday at Dallas.
Yeah.
And then at San Antonio on Sunday.
I think I'm screwed, but we'll see what happens.
What was the line again?
If they lose all 3, it's 29.5, so I need them to lose that.
Oh yeah. So the Charlotte game is the one. Charlotte game. I mean, because San Antonio could go either way on the road.
Castle maybe has a monster game. Who knows?
Yeah,
the Hornets are terrible.
Yeah, but
So,
the Hornets are really bad.
Once again, it's a free bet, so it's not like I lose any actual money if it doesn't hit, but I make $1,000.
Wow, Scott, that is such a grown-up way of thinking about it, because that is not how I think about it at all.
I can't even hedge the thing. I'm just stuck.
If I lost, yeah, I mean,
I'm not betting each game. I'm just stuck.
I mean, maybe the Charlotte game, maybe.
No, because then they could still lose to the Spurs. Spurs aren't trying either. And Dallas isn't good. They're trying for seeding, but that's not a good basketball team.
Yeah, this would be a lot better if you had like a really good team instead of the Spurs in that last spot.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting it out. I wanted the Nets to win that game, but they ended up sitting a bunch of guys, and that didn't work out. So there you go. We'll see what happens.
Wow, Toronto snuck their way to close to 30 wins. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's how bad the league is. That's
they
what
were
I'm
like
trying to
8 and 31.
That's how bad the league is. The league
I
is
was
horrible.
cruising. They were 8 and 31, and somehow they're going to end up with 30 wins.
WNBA is the premier basketball league. Compared to this. God dang it. How did they get to 30 wins? All right.
I know. Well, I do want to ask you quickly before we get into any of the games. I know that we're not going to spend too much time on it, but did you enjoy the title game last night?
I did.
Okay.
It actually had the exact game script that I thought. Well, not exact, because I really wanted Houston to win, but I figured more than likely, after watching those two teams the entire tournament, that whoever was winning at halftime was probably going to lose the game.
Yeah, sounds about right. I mean, going into halftime, it felt like Houston was up 10 and they were up 3, and that's probably not a good sign because Clayton has no points. So.
Yeah, I was literally like, so I live bet Florida, like as soon as they got a sizable lead, got them some points on the other side, and live bet Florida, and still had the Houston play. Would have loved a quick, a 1 point, 2 point Houston win here, but Houston first half was a cash cow. And I mean, I guess that's what it's like to finally see the 2 best teams in the nation duke it out for the national championship.
Is that a pun intended? Because Duke did not make the national title game?
No, but thank you very much for pointing it out, because now it is a pun intended.
It's a good one. But at the end of the day, I thought it was going to be a war. It was. I cashed my only play I had in the game. I had Roberts over 6.5 rebounds. He ended up with 8, so can't complain there. But yeah, Houston, at the end of the day, Kelvin Sampson, I'll put it this way. He's a great coach. I think he's made the most Final Fours ever without winning a title. Damn, the offense gets stagnant every year at some point. It gets ugly. A lot of their losses have been rock fights because they can't score. And it felt like Cryer was the only guy on the entire court on Houston's team that could actually generate their own shot.
Yeah.
Roberts tried to. He was like 3 of 13.
He kept trying. Like, he literally kept trying. Like,
didn't have anything. Like, Sharp comes around screens and chucks up a bunch of 3-pointers.
But it's tough. Like, Florida had a lot of bigs.
Yeah.
It was just hard sledding for Roberts.
It was. I'm just saying. It felt like Cryer was the only guy who could actually create his own shot off the dribble that you felt okay with. And that was
I really liked that Houston offense, which was annoying.
I don't like their offense, but I like their defense and the rebounding. But that's how they win. They win by being a hustle team that rebounds. But the efficiency shooting-wise is atrocious in the tournament basically every year. And it happened again. So definitely a heartbreaker. Good for Florida, though. They're back on the map in basketball. They lost in the first round last year to Colorado. But definitely a competitive game. Wasn't the highest quality, but it came down to the wire. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
But not getting a final shot off was crazy.
Yeah, man, and yeah, that was really the thing that got me. That was the coaching aspect that I had, and that's the reason I had Houston and Sampson. I was like, man, Sampson has done really, really good to get a final shot all tournament long. Didn't end up getting one in the natty. Sucks. Yep. All right, friends. Augusta's around the corner. Time for the Masters.
What are you going to do? Tiger's not even playing. What are you going to do?
No, honestly, that's a great question because man, I wish I could have a feeling like I did in 2019, man. I don't know how to explain it, Scott. Like it was just a feeling. It was a random thought, and I'm like, man, Tiger Woods could really do it. And I know he's been like trash and ass and everything, like in that moment, but
I'll
like
use the
he.
term injured, but yes, okay, that's fine. That's another way to put it, but sure. Yeah, greatest golfer
My
of all
fault,
time. He kind of
Tiger.
sucks, you know. Like
My
I don't know
fault,
why I was
Tiger. He
feeling it.
was ass then. He
He
was
was. He
complete
was.
ass then,
I mean,
and
to be
there
truth,
was
truth be
nobody
told,
thinking he was gonna win the
truth be
2019
told,
Masters.
besides the Masters, he's been terrible before and after. It was kind of a
Yeah,
one-off, to
it
be
was it
honest.
was
But
literally a one off, and I'm like, I'm never gonna make a call like that again. One, because I don't follow any other golfer,
fair.
but I'm never gonna get that opportunity again to make a call like that. I would love to hit like a random Masters bet. Where's my guy Willie Z? I used to like betting him. Oh, and you know what? Top five Tony. I
Do
don't
you
know what he's
remember
gonna
what
do.
Z's last name actually was?
Zalatoris.
Well done. Look at
Thank
you.
you.
The
Yeah,
name
what?
drop. Let's
Hey,
go.
I know
Let's
that.
go.
I know, bro. I used to bet Willie Z.
I know you
I
did, but
I'm cool
I
with
know
him.
he's also injured for a bit, so people kind of forgot
Yeah,
about him.
I know. Yeah, no, I like Willie Z. I just thought Zalatoris was like a really cool name, and
Yeah.
I would bet him for sure. And then who's top five Tony? So man, this is crazy. This happens every single time we get this read. But quick story time with Really Rel. When I was in the military, I had 100+ people that I managed where they were military, civilian, all of that. So I always try to find a way to relate to different people because it was so many people I couldn't remember all those people. So one guy loved golf. He loved golf. So we always used to go in there, and whenever golf was around, I would make up some type of golf conversation and talk to him about it. And we would always talk about Tony Finau. And he was like, yeah, top five Tony. He was like, he may not win one, but he gonna be top five at the end of the day. And I was like, word. And it
It's
was
good
what
advice. He has won a couple since, but that is good
no,
advice.
and then it was like one of these masters. Was it last year or the year before? I don't know. It was one of these masters that I bet him top five, and he finished at fifth. He finished fifth. I was like, oh, this is real. And he was like, yeah, top five Tony. And so I might place a bet for top five Tony to make the top five.
All right, works for me.
But you know how you can also get down on the action on the Masters? By hopping into Splash Sports for our big contest, up to $30,000 in prizes up for grabs, and only a $25 entry fee. Get in today over there at splashsports.com/SGPN. That is splashsports.com/SGPN. And tune in to the Golf Gambling Podcast, the Steffi Small Show, the Bottom Lines Bombs for all your Masters picks. And also check out the Mothership Show. They just did a Masters pod last night. All right, let's get into his slot. Scott, 10 games on the slate. We have first up 7 p.m. on the East Coast. What's today? Oh,
Today is Tuesday.
I had Wednesday pulled up. So
You're overachieving. It's fine.
I was very confused on why there were not lines out for every single game. All right. Chicago Bulls on the road going to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are laying 12.5, 240 is the total. Injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Chicago Bulls, Donovan Mitchell is out. So only injury there. There's no Donovan Mitchell in this game. He's not playing due to a left ankle sprain. We've got Josh Giddey, who is questionable with the forearm. I believe he sat last game. You have Vucevic, questionable injury management. He sat last game. That's why it says injury management. You got Kobe White out, Trey Jones out, Kevin Huerter out, Lonzo Ball out. All right, Scott. We've got Gideon White, who have been amazing, and now Kobe's out.
To be fair, you have Mitchell. You have Mitchell on the other end, though. So
that is true. Trey Jones has been out for a minute. Kevin Huerter's actually been a solid little piece for them coming off the bench. This is a lot of points, but like, what if like any injuries to this team is just breaking up the golden era that we have for Chicago, and they just get ran through? But damn,
I mean, we saw that against OKC a week or two ago. They just got smacked.
Yeah,
they haven't lost since, but
they played Toronto, Portland, and didn't cover against Portland, by the way.
Yeah.
And Charlotte.
I didn't say they played good teams, but they haven't lost since.
Meanwhile, you got the Cavs coming off a loss to the Kings.
Do the Cavs care? I mean, they technically didn't clinch the first seed yet. I believe they're one game away, but they're going to get the 1 seed. So, like, do they really care?
It's so off of the last number of games, it doesn't seem like they care. It seems like they're going out there and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it's just like, which day? Like, are you going to get the day where the Cavs decide to play basketball? I can't bet this. And I think the only reason I can't bet this because my gut is telling me, dog, the Cavs are unserious. Let's just go all in on the Bulls here, take the points, and this is like a 8-7 point game or whatever.
I don't know if the Bulls are serious either because Kobe White's not playing.
Yeah, and that's the other part of it. And so I could see both of these two teams just kind of tanking this game. So I actually don't feel good about this, but I'll take the Bulls. Give me an over for the game, and I just say that it's a bunch of points scored. Bulls end up the Cavs not carrying on defense and just let the Bulls score whatever, but they're not afraid of losing the game. Give me the Bulls, but I'm not betting this one.
Yeah, so they played about a month ago. The Cavs did win in Chicago, 139-117. Each of the last 2 meetings did finish at least 250, but I think I am going to go under in this game. I know the total keeps going up. I understand it, but with no Kobe White and no Donovan Mitchell, you're missing 2 massive scores in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about how it might be a rest game for both teams. Chicago's got a bunch of guys in the injury report who might not play. Cleveland, we'll see if they add anybody late to the injury report. Who knows? But just looking at the actual lineups here, you have Garland, Strus, Okoro, Mobley, and Allen. These are projected, by the way. Maybe Hunter starts. You have Giddey, who's also questionable, so he might not play. Vucevic is questionable, too. Chicago might bench the entire team. I'll go with the under. 240.5 sounds like a lot of points when you're missing a couple of really big scores. And if White and Giddey sit this game, and Vucevic too, I don't know how Chicago's going to score. So I think 240.5 is a very high total. I'll take the under.
Maybe I can talk you into a first half under in this
Could
one.
be.
The first half under actually was really, really good for the Chicago Bulls in the first half of a back-to-back, 4-8 over the course of the season. But interesting enough, the full game total 7-5 in the first leg of back-to-back. So they've been really, really slow to start, but they picked it up in the second half and sent the games over. So maybe a little first half under there.
I'm just wondering if the Bulls are trying to kind of copy. We'll get to the Lakers game in a second, but they might copy the Lakers strategy, which is they're on a back-to-back. They play Miami tomorrow at home. Do they punt the Cleveland game and try to beat Miami? Maybe,
because that means more, in terms of standing. Yeah,
either that or just probability of victory. You probably have a better chance of beating Miami at home than you do beating Cleveland on the road.
Yeah, and plus with Giddey, whatever's going on with Giddey. Apparently, I think Vucevic is 100% going to play because he was injury management the last game. So I don't think they're going to just sit him out injury management twice. But Giddey actually has a designation. So maybe Giddey's a little banged up. But if they say something about Giddey not playing, then there's no way you can even look the Bulls' way.
The point is, I don't see it's a coincidence being Kobe White out. Then you have Giddey and Vucevic. Basically, the only 3 players worth a damn on the team are just questionable. Yeah. Like they might not play and Mitchell's not playing. It might be a mutual truce of, listen, the season.
Let's just let whatever happens.
Whatever happens. We'll go at it. So
yeah.
I think 240.5 is too high when you're missing that much scoring power. So I'll go with the under.
All right.
I'm not going to bet this game, but that total feels pretty high.
All right. Atlanta Hawks on the road going to play the Orlando Magic. Magic laying 4.5, 225.5 is total. This is going to be a good one, Scott, because this one has direct implications as both of these two teams are in the Eastern Conference play-in. We will be seeing a shift in standings after tonight.
Besides that, winner of this game probably wins the division.
Yeah, also. Wait,
one of the worst divisions of all time.
Does that matter if they play? Don't they play twice?
They do, but I'm saying Orlando's up 1 game now, so if Orlando wins,
it is okay. All right.
So,
yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Let's look at the injury report. We got here for the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young is a probable.
A better play. It's one of the biggest games of the season.
Capella is out. Nothing for the Orlando Magic. I mean, this is a contrast in styles, and it's really annoying because you have an Orlando team that can't score but defends amazing, and you have and you have an Atlanta team that can score with the best of them up and down the court, but they can't defend shit.
Yep.
So who wins out?
Fun fact, by the way, Atlanta's allowed at least 120 points in 7 straight games. You gave up 134 to Utah last game, and they scored 147. So on that note, give me the under in the game. That's gonna be my move here. I'm gonna go with the head-to-head history and the actual stakes involved. Big game for both teams. They faced off twice this season, both in the span of 10 days back in February, and both meetings finished below 223. It's just a very high total for the Magic. I know the argument is the Hawks don't guard anybody; they don't try to. It's why I'm low in this team in general. Games in Orlando, and they'll play good. I think they'll play good defense. But Orlando definitely does not want to turn this game into a track meet. They want to make this ugly as possible. So I do think Orlando is going to go out of their way to try to stop Atlanta in transition. Keyword try. Make the game ugly. Try to out-physical them. And just try to get enough open looks in the half court. Let Paolo and let Franz cook in the half court go from there. I'll go with the under. I think that the fact that it has been 2 games so far this season below this number, I think is pretty telling. And the home team's actually lost both games for the series, which is kind of surprising. But I'll go with the under. It feels pretty high for me with the Magic being involved. But I think I will go with the Magic. Mm-hmm. They haven't beaten anybody worth a damn in a while. Like, I'm aware of it. But neither is Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta beat Milwaukee. That team's fallen off a cliff. Mm-hmm. I just think at the end of the day, Orlando at home is going to look sharper. I think that they'll be able to get enough stops down the stretch. If Trey has an inefficient game, they're screwed. And I see that being a decent probability in this game. So I'll go with the under, and I'll go with Orlando. And it is correlated. If I'm picking Orlando, I'm picking the under.
Yeah, but what if Orlando's bad enough and lets Orlando score 120?
Then that's a possibility, but I can't remember the last time Orlando scored 120 in a game. I actually want to look that up.
I've already.
They scored 121 against the Kings and 120 against the Wizards. That's like the only 2 times they scored 120 in like the last at least a month, maybe 2 months.
Chicago's defense gave up one. So these are like some pretty bad defenses that have given up 120.
Yeah. Let me actually look that up for a second.
Terrified of the total, Scott. I'm terrified of the total. Everything you said sounds great with under, but I have genuine faith that Atlanta is going to find a way to give Orlando 120 here.
It's definitely fair. I'm just going to bank.
If they don't, it's going to be really, really close, like 118, like really, really close. If they can't defend anything, I think that this is a game where we can see Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner really, really dominate inside of the paint with a lot of not a lot of resistance. Mm-hmm. And so maybe there is some scoring droughts, but I think that they'll come in and they'll be able to have a solid enough game that'll put a decent enough total here. I can't get there on the total, honestly. I don't think I would. I can't play an under with Atlanta right now.
By the way, just to point out, Orlando scored 120 points plus twice since February 5th. It's been 2 months. They scored 120 plus two times.
What?
This is an atrocious offense.
Yeah.
Atlanta's an atrocious defense, so I get what you're saying, but I'll go with the head-to-head history and the stakes. Give me a playoff atmosphere, I guess. You could be right, though. Like, not exactly the greatest 2 games we're starting the card with for betting, but I'll back Orlando at home, and I'll go with the under.
All right. Yeah. Give me Orlando at home. I'm going over.
Orlando Magic.
I think they score. Ooh.
Yeah.
Orlando Magic. All right. Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta talk to you about Edge Boost, the premier Visa debit card for sports bettors. You can earn up to $750 per month in cashback rewards for using your Edge Boost card. Avoid the hassle of having to give your card to the sportsbook, DFS site, sweepstakes site, whatever. Just use an Edge Boost card. Best part, no credit checks, completely free. Do yourself a favor, sign up at edgeboost.bet, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport, including the Masters, including props on every single game over there at mybookie.ag. easy deposit, and lightning fast payouts using cryptocurrency. So get over there and lock in mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. It's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. Indiana Pacers are at home welcoming the Washington Wizards. Pacers are laying 19 points in this game. 236 is the total. We've got for an injury report. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let's start with the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
Pascal Siakam is questionable. We've got Ben Shepherd, who is questionable as well. That is it for the Pacers. Malcolm Brogdon, Bilal Coulibaly, Chris Middleton, all out. Sean Holmes, doubtful. What's this? Tristan Vucevic, questionable. And what's Anthony Gill? Anthony Gill's 32? Really?
Yep. Virginia?
Yeah.
I remember.
Oh, wow. A little bit older than I thought he'd be.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of Virginia's guys would stay as seniors and then they'd
No,
go.
yeah. I get that. Yeah. Just, wow, 32? Like,
yep.
His career is about over.
I mean, no offense to Anthony Gill, you make the argument that his career never really began, but that's
I mean, he's still getting millions of dollars, and he's got he's practicing. He plays a couple of games here or there. Like,
he plays more against Malcolm. He plays more against Malcolm Brogdon. Does that count?
Yeah, he does.
Another Virginia guy.
Really shot. Anthony Gill's 32 years old. He's questionable though, by the way.
Okay. Brogdon's out, of course.
Yes.
I mean, the last time they played, as a reminder, the Pacers scored 162 points.
They're not going to do that again.
No, but that's the point. That's why Indiana's favored by 18.5, because they scored 162 points in the last meeting. My only bet for this game overnight was Haliburton double-double, which ironically he did not get in the 162-point game. But he's had a double-double in, I believe, 11 or 12 straight home games. So, fun fact, Haliburton's been on a massive home double-double streak. So it was minus 135. So I like that price.
Give me the Wizards.
It's a lot of points.
Yeah, like you're tiptoeing 20 points here.
Fun fact, though, I don't remember.
Matter of fact, like how are the wait. So at Boston, and granted, Boston destroyed them, so maybe this doesn't matter. But at Boston on what was that, Sunday?
I think Boston sat half the team.
And they were still 19-point favorites.
I don't think Tatum or Brown played in that game. Tatum and Brown both sat. They still won by 34.
I don't know what's wrong about that. Something's
Brown
wrong about
played.
that.
Apologies. Brown did play. He played 22 minutes. Tatum did not play.
They covered 17.5. The Pacers, I am talking about. They covered 17.5 against Utah on the 4th, and then didn't cover 15 against Charlotte in game before. Yeah, give me an on-off with them covering these large numbers. I'll take the Wizards.
Yeah, just give me the over. I'm just going to go with the total again as my cop-out for this. Indiana scored 160 last time out. We know this team isn't great defensively. The Wizards can BS their way into maybe 110, 120 if the pace is going to be that high, potentially. Indiana can walk into 140. We saw that against Utah a couple games ago where Indiana messed around for a half, then they remembered, the team we're playing can't guard anybody. And they ended up with 140 points. I feel like you can get there with Indiana carrying the entire bulk of the scoring. So I'll go with the over. I think it's Wizards or pass for me, but I'm not going to bet the Wizards. The fun fact, though, is that I did the win total preseason episode with Kramer and Sean. Mm-hmm. And I believe the one pick that I'm still waiting to officially cash for a sweep is the Wizards under. And I'm one game away. So we'll see what happens. I need the Wizards to not win out, and I sweep the win totals. So, knock on wood.
When's the last time the Wizards won a game?
It's been a while. Wizards beat the Kings.
And it was the fucking Kings game. Yep. Sure was. For that, probably feel like it's been a minute too.
They beat the Sixers, who aren't actually trying.
Oh, okay. So
the win before that,
getting one every now and then.
The Nuggets and the Pistons back to back.
Oh yeah, that was the one where they beat the Nuggets and the Pistons.
They're 2-0 against the Nuggets this year. Fun fact.
Sometimes you just got a team's number.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they played Philly. Chicago and Miami to end the season. Yikes.
I see Gundam asking if the game matters for seeding purposes for Indiana. Let me just quickly check.
Oh, yeah, good question.
I think it does technically, but I don't know if it's going to matter. I mean, Detroit's been slumping a bit lately, so now Milwaukee's looking at the 5. So I have to actually see what the seedings are.
So Indiana is 3 games ahead of Milwaukee for the 4 seed and 2 games behind New York for the 3 seed. So they're kind of locked in there in the middle.
I see 3 and 3 on both sides, so it really doesn't matter. They're gonna be the 4.
I just said that.
I thought you said it was 2 Knicks and 3 Bucks. It's
No.
3 and 3.
No, I thought I said 3 and 3.
I could have sworn you said 2. Okay, my
Oh,
bad.
I did. Oh,
Either way, point is they're not locked into the 4, but they're about to be.
all right. God damn it.
Do you want to pick a random Pacers bench player to go off? This is the TJ McConnell double-double game?
I really need the Pistons to kick the Bucks ass them last 2 games of the season.
It's a shame that the Pistons just punted that game yesterday.
They have to kick the Bucks ass the last 2 games of the season.
Do you think? I don't think they're going to, but we'll see. They can't rebound.
I don't know, bro. If they win the first one in Detroit, but the Bucks are going to be locked. Wait, no, because who do the Bucks want to play more? Well, they probably want to play the Pacers.
They do not want to play the Knicks.
Yeah,
the Knicks will kill that damn team.
Fuck.
I think we're getting Pistons next.
Fuck.
It's still a fun series in general, but
no, yeah, but like I want to see the Knicks and the Pistons in the next round. Nobody wants to see either the Bucks or the Pacers in the next round.
At the end of the day, you clinched a playoff spot, and then you immediately lost to the Grizzlies with no Ja and the Kings. So that's not what you want to see. Kings on a back-to-back too, and they've been terrible on back-to-backs. That's not how you want to end the season. So
they're going to turn it around. The Pistons are going to win the last 2 games against the Bucks, and the Bucks are going to fall to 6, and the Pistons are going to move to 5.
All right.
Memphis Grizzlies are on the road. Jesus Christ. Going to play the Charlotte Hornets. Memphis is laying 14.5. 229 is total. Injury report. And we've got pulling out for Memphis, whatever that matters. Josh Green and Damian Ball out for Charlotte. It's not like that matters either. I mean, Memphis needs a game like this.
They were able to get by without Ja against the Pistons. A very nice win for them. The Hornets are terrible. Bridges had a heater for about 2 weeks, and now he's back to being Miles Bridges again. I like Mark Williams, but they don't really have anybody else worth a damn. The question is, do you actually want to trust the Grizzlies to show up for a game to win by 15? If Ja's playing, I'm probably taking it.
The last time that they covered this line, they won 140-103 against Utah on March 25th, and they were laying 11.5 there.
Okay. It really comes down to if you want to trust the Grizzlies or not. If Ja's playing and there's no illness nonsense, I mean, the Hornets lost to the Bulls by 14, Kings by 23, Pacers by 14, beat Utah. Good for them, I guess. I mean, they've been horrible. Like, I got nothing else to add here. This team sucks. I guess I'll go Grizzlies, but, you know, hopefully Ja actually plays this game.
Yeah.
Like, what's the path for Charlotte here? You just hope Bridges gives you 35? Bridges and Williams give you a combined, like, 50-something? This team sucks. At least Memphis can score. They have depth. They can actually get buckets. You have Ja, you have Bane, you have Triple J,
and I think that's
good bench.
I think that's the deciding factor for me and why I would actually lay this number. Like I actually would bet this, and it's because the depth of Memphis and that this team's been getting their ass kicked for so long that those guys coming off the bench, when they have the opportunity, they're going to kill, and so that lead is going to that lead is going to extend. Like this is an opportunity. They haven't had a chance to beat the shit out of somebody since March 25th. And this is a perfect opportunity. Yeah. I think
they've won 2 in a row.
I'm not going to lie, Scott. Couldn't bet this one.
That's how I feel.
Matter of fact, where is it at? Thank you.
Who's got the chalk?
Yeah, that's one that makes sense. All right. Before we get to the next game of slate, gotta talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you lock in with Underdog Pick'em. You can win up to 100 times your entry. You can play any sport. And hey, we're gonna drop an Underdog Pick'em lineup. We hit ours yesterday. Been pretty good. Try to get you another one today. Lock in over there with that promo code NBA SGPN. Get a special pick and a first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm, your home for AI bat picks and props. They are now live. Scott's been locking in with Adam over there on the MLB Propcast show, locking into some MLB.
They helped us win Underdog yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, look, another Underdog win in MLB. Shout out to Rhythm for that. They got models for NBA golf as well. So make sure you lock in. And hey, picks are really, really good here. So build your model. It's super easy. I can do it. I know you can. Sign up today over there at with a 7-day free trial. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. All right. Brooklyn Nets are.
I'm getting the drop preloaded for this.
The Brooklyn Nets are at home going to play the New Orleans Pelicans. Nets are laying 3 at home. Don't get to hear that said too often. 213 is the total. Scott, if you will. There are
one for each team. Courtesy flush.
They are a combined 46 wins with a couple of games left in the season, 108 losses.
Nets went over the win total. They did their part. A little bit too much, to be honest.
Shout out to the Nets. We're going over the win total. Pelicans, nowhere near.
Nope.
At all. Pretty bad team. Injuries suck, but like it was bad before that, honestly.
Yeah. I'm shocked Willie Green still has a job.
And he's eating off the injury thing. And that's the thing with Memphis. Like, Memphis is eating off the injury thing, too, a little bit with the team and all that. But, like, it's just something wrong in the building, in both buildings. There's just something wrong, especially Memphis. I say Memphis a lot more than the Pelicans because other years, and I just heard Pat Bev talking about it on a podcast, and I really not that big of a fan of Pat Bev, but he made a good point. Other years, you could tell when they were playing Memphis that night. Like, you knew Memphis is dancing, partying, having a good time. Like, they're really locked in. Seem into it this year. Like, they really don't. And I get injuries have been rough. And they just fired the coach and everything's going to shit. But, like, dog, you're still a 46-win team and you look like shit any given night. Like, change some type of culture in the building. Same thing with New Orleans. New Orleans just never had it, though.
The word I'm looking for is accountability. And you could argue that trickles down to the star players who coincidentally were in the same draft class with John Zion. Mm-hmm. If you let your star players do random, I'd say, immature actions, then everyone else on the team is going to view that there's no accountability at all, and they're going to do whatever they want. I feel like Zion has been given a ton of money because he got an extension, and he barely plays because he's out of shape all the time. He's been better this year at staying in shape, but he still gets hurt all the time. And then you have the Jaws situation where he's always injured. He had the gun suspension, a lot of stuff. If you want to draw parallels between the two of them, there's no accountability and there's a ton of immaturity in both organizations. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's a way to look at it.
Memphis has gone by more so than New Orleans, but it's definitely a bad look when the franchise seems to let their star players do whatever they want when they haven't really accomplished a damn thing in the league yet. Jaw's done more than Zion, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I just would like to see it. There needs to be a culture shift because the talent is there, especially for Memphis. I really don't care about Pelicans, but Memphis, legit, this same roster. Well, not the exact same roster, a couple of pieces here or there, but the same premise of this roster was a 2 seed in the West.
I think New Orleans' culture is worse, to be honest, because at least Memphis last year, I know Jenkins got fired. They were terrible last year, but they tried really hard.
They covered the spread.
They had a lot of bench guys who were going to at least put it on the line every single game.
Bad teams covering the spread is a good indicator of they just need one or two things to go their way, and they can completely turn this around. Because we were betting the OKC Thunder to cover the spread for years until they got good.
Yeah.
For years we saw it, and we're like, man, this team just makes it. They're right there, right there, right there. That last season with Memphis, they were right there. Like,
New Orleans hasn't done any of that. New Orleans
no.
just rolls over and gets killed in half these games. That's why I think
And that's why Willie Green's probably going to be gone. And if I was New Orleans, I'd be immediately like I would have been calling Taylor Jenkins as soon as he got fired, and it was like because that's the exact coach that you need in New Orleans, a coach that could come in with the team that's always injured and coach them up.
It seems that the issue for Jenkins in Memphis was the offensive system they were running, and Ja wanted more touches, and they were trying to not run any pick and rolls, and that didn't work out as the season went on. At least the players played hard. They didn't guard anyone for Jenkins, but at least they played hard. The Pelicans have just been coasting on autopilot for what feels like 10 years. There's no urgency at all with this team.
They got that series with the Suns, and that was it.
Yeah, and they lost that series, by the way.
Yeah, they did.
In fact, Chris Paul did not miss a shot, I believe, in the entire final game of that series, but separate story.
All right. Nonetheless, we got a toilet bowl game here. Give me the Pelicans plus points. Injury report here. What is this? Jose Alvarado. I hope he's out, but questionable. If he's out, Pelicans might be a lock.
I mean, it's depressing, but you can make an argument that Alvarado is their best active player on the roster, which is a serious problem. You can make an argument.
I think the offense looks better with Elfrid Payton at the helm.
I can agree with you there. I'm just saying, just based on
which is really crazy to say for me as an Knicks
good passer.
Kelly Olynyk questionable. Brandon Boston, Jordan Hawkins out. Day'Ron Sharp's out. D'Lo's out. Keon Johnson's out. Cam Johnson's out. Yeah, give me the Pelicans plus points, whatever.
Yeah, the only play I have here is Beekman steals for the Nets. He's had 3 steals in back-to-back games, another Virginia guy. I mean, I don't know what New Orleans is going to do with this game, the rotating made-up lineups. I just see a bunch of turnovers in an ugly game. Give me Beekman steals. All right. I'll go with the Nets because New Orleans on the road, I think everyone already has vacation plans. I'll go with the Nets.
Oh, man, this line has flipped. The Boston Celtics are going into Madison Square Garden to play the New York Knicks. Boston opened up laying 3.5. The Knicks are currently 1.5 point favorites. 222 is the total. Brunson is a probable. Deuce McBride, probable as well. Here's the reason the line switched. Al Horford is out. Jason Tatum is questionable. We got Porzingis, who is on the sick report. That actually popped up this morning. Questionable with a non-COVID illness. Jalen, I mean, how many? Whatever. His immune system sucks. This got to be the same illness. Gotta be.
The immune system sucks.
That's a good one. Jaylen Brown, questionable knee injury. We've got Derek White, probable. Look like they said Derek White, you're going to end Drew Holiday. All right, they look like they said Derek White and Drew Holiday, you go out there. Everybody else, we'll see.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, I'm assuming that Brown and Tatum, at least one of them are going to sit. Because the fact that the line shifted with a favorite switch, and both guys are questionable. Celtics, once again, unless the Cavs basically lose out, they're locked into the 2. It really doesn't matter at all. The only thing that matters is the Knicks getting killed by the Cavs and Celtics every game this season. And they can finally win a game against one of these teams. In a good spot. So, motivation, you could argue, is definitely in favor of the Knicks. And Brunson's back. Who was not good against Atlanta, but he's back.
Yeah, and the Knicks need a win. And guess what? The Knicks got a win against the Celtics around this time last year. April 11th. Close to the end of the season. Boston really didn't have nothing to play for. The Knicks got the win. I could see something similar happening, and that's probably why. That line was 3.5. Now this line is 1.5 Knicks. I could see something similar happening. So, yeah, sure. I'll take the Knicks because, I mean, how can you make any decision on the Celtics right now not knowing if they're, 3 of their top players are playing?
Yeah. I mean, Horford's already out. You're looking at Porzingis, who we never know if
And
he's
they're
ever
the first
going
leg
to
of
play.
back.
Yeah, I was going to say Porzingis is questionable, but he might sit. Who knows? I mean, at the end of the day, this might be a potential second round playoff matchup. This is the 2 versus the 3 right now. Boston's proven they can smack this team whenever they want. You might just coast and just not show them anything new for scouting purposes and just take a nap.
Look at Boston's end of the season. They have the first leg of a back-to-back here against New York, second leg of a back-to-back against Orlando, at Orlando tomorrow. And then they go back home for 2 games against Charlotte to end the season.
And they're playing for nothing. So I think Boston might punt the last couple games. They'll beat Charlotte because Charlotte's terrible. But why would you give the Knicks extra film to work with when you don't have to? You've proven multiple times you can bury this team whenever you want.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the Knicks.
All right. I'm with you. Didn't think I ended up picking Knicks, but
I did, because I just think Boston's not going to care about the game. The Knicks have to care, right? I mean, for at least pride. If you're going to face this team in the playoffs, you have to at least prove to your players you can beat this team.
yeah, but what does it matter when you look across and you see Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett standing there like?
That's more of just trying to find something. At least you get to, try to get some wins.
Give me a Peyton Pritchard. Like, this is one of those games where Peyton Pritchard just goes the fuck off.
Yeah,
that's your Madison Square Garden player of the game.
I thought about a Josh Hart triple-double, but I think we're on the same page.
Yeah. It feels like one of those games. We could have fun there. All right. Minnesota and Milwaukee Bucks playing in Milwaukee. Minnesota's laying 5.5 now. This line is just continued to grow. This is like a 4-point line move. At least from my own eye, it's at least a 3-point line move. But
yeah,
on paper, it says 4. 223 is the total injury report. And we've got Terrence Shannon Jr. questionable with the groin injury. Jericho Sims is out. Dame's out. Pat Connaughton is questionable with an ankle. And Giannis is probable.
Both teams are on winning streaks. Milwaukee's quietly won 4 in a row, and Minnesota's won 5 in a row.
In Minnesota, Milwaukee sucks.
Do I want to lay 5.5? I might go Minnesota 1-10. Yeah, I think this game's randomly close. Minnesota messed around against Philly, and they got the job done in the end, but I've not been overly impressed. I mean, they've been winning games. Both teams have played against bad competition. I mean, Bucks have won 4 in a row. They beat the Suns. They beat the Sixers, beat the Heat in overtime with no hero, and then barely beat the Pelicans. So they haven't beaten anybody. I'll go with the under in this game. Faced off earlier this year, that game did lay in 204. I see it being ugly. Minnesota defensively has been really good lately, and Milwaukee offensively can be pretty one-dimensional with Giannis. I think if Giannis has an inefficient night, Milwaukee's screwed anyway. I'll go with the under as well. I think it'll be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, and I need Milwaukee to take a fucking L too. Hell yeah.
All right.
Dog, I really, really, really don't want this Milwaukee Pacers series. Like,
I'm just used to it. I've seen Milwaukee play Indiana like 4 times already.
I would be so drained to see them play again. It's because didn't they play like 10 times last year?
They played 5 times in the regular season because they had the semifinals of the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
And then they played in the playoffs, and Giannis was injured and Dame was injured, and it was a waste of time.
Very, very much don't want to see that. Let's go Minnesota. I might lock up Minnesota for that reason, actually. All right. We got the revenge of a deja vu game here. The Los Angeles Lakers going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Oklahoma City is laying 14.5 against the Lakers here. 226.5 is the total. All right. Why are they laying 14.5? Master Kleber, Rui Hachimura out. You've got questionable tags on Gabe Vincent. You got a questionable tag on Austin Reeves. You got a questionable tag on Bronny James. You got a questionable tag on LeBron James Sr. Why don't we ever get to the senior part of LeBron's name? He's LeBron James Sr. Dorian Finney-Smith is also
Can we call him Bronny James's dad? Can that be
Bronny Senior? I'm about to call him Bronny Senior.
Bronny Senior. That's
Bronny
a new
Senior.
nickname we're going to use for him. Yeah.
Yeah, Bronny Senior. I hope Bronny Senior is able to play in this one because Luka is also questionable. So basically, there's a chance that the Lakers just punt this game entirely, which is why, and I'm pretty sure the line is telling you that because it's 14.5 on the second game of a deja vu game. And they lost the first one as 9.5-point favorites.
OKC did.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, they're playing a back-to-back, the Lakers. They play the Mavericks tomorrow.
Second leg of, okay, so the first leg of a back-to-back for the Lakers. Yes. So, deja vu principles,
team, right?
Deja vu principles say that you have to back the favorite in the second game if the favorite lost the first game against the same team. I really, 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 really think there's a good chance that the Lakers just say fuck it.
They play Dallas tomorrow. The argument is we just beat OKC. Might see them in the playoffs again. Why would we give them any extra whatever? Same thing I just said in the previous game we talked about. The Lakers, I'm assuming, are sitting Reeves and LeBron and Luka because it's 14.5. And they just beat this team.
And
the Thunder are playing for nothing, though. That's the problem.
And they have Dallas on deck.
Yeah.
They're not paying attention to this game. They already got the win against them.
AD? Yeah,
and we know, and when OKC is on, we know that there's a quarter where OKC probably won by 10 plus points, maybe even more.
Yeah.
Dude, it sounds disgusting, but give me OKC laying 14.5.
You got the Luka revenge game against Dallas in Dallas the game after. I don't think Luka's playing tonight.
Yeah.
And
it's the second leg of a back-to-back. It seems like they're saving everybody for that second leg of a back-to-back, and they're just going to say, all right, take the first night off. We're going to play you the second night.
Yeah, I think that's what I said previously about one of the other teams we talked about. When you have a back-to-back, you might look at the schedule and say, well, we have a better chance of beating the second team than this first team, so why bother? The Lakers did what they had to do. They beat the Thunder. They showed they can beat this team. Shea took no free throws, which is wild. But the Thunder have been playing terrible basketball lately. The Rockets killed them. The Lakers killed them. I think it's a good spot for OKC to get some revenge here. Yes, it's going to be against potentially a G League team. Bronny James points could be worth something. Maybe he plays 30 minutes tonight. But I'll go with the Thunder minus 14 now.
He did have a game where he was the Lakers' leading scorer.
Yeah, last game he tied Curry in points. They each had 3. So, something to keep in mind. I got to play the drop, though. It's 14 now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you should 100%. I feel really good about laying 14.5 with the Lakers if you're telling me Bronny James is getting significant minutes. I'm sorry, Bronny.
I have to imagine, right? If you're benching basically all your starters, then Bronny's going to have to play.
Yeah, like if you're there's no way if you're benching the starters, Bronny's not playing good minutes here. Like and then he had a good game the last time he got good minutes.
Yeah.
Like they're 100% giving him minutes here, which is not good. Because have you seen OKC's defense? We've seen OKC's C team go up against teams B team and still blow them out and cover the spread.
I just can't imagine looking at Shea or J-Dub or Caruso or Cason Wallace and you just get the Bronny James assignment. Like, Bronny, have fun. You're going to be in hell tonight, but you're going to learn a lot. So you got to take it as a learning experience. Is that fair?
Dude.
Can I say
wow,
that?
I didn't think I was going to feel as good about a couple of 14-point spreads than I did tonight. But like,
you might want to wait for confirmation, but it's 14 and a half. I have to imagine all 3 of them are almost locks to miss this game.
It has to be embedded in the line.
Yeah, it has to be.
There's no because if they're ruled out, Scott, if they're ruled out, Scott, this line move maybe 15.5. It's not like this line is moving another 3 points, which should be the move once those 3 guys are out.
And the Lakers just beat this team outright. So clearly 14.5 is telling you the Lakers are treating this game like it's an exhibition.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Golden State Warriors going up against the Phoenix Suns. Warriors are now laying 9.5. I'll admit, I already bet this at 8.
I think we all did.
226.5 is the total. Injury report here, and we have for the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant out. Nick Richards is a probable. They're going to need him. And nothing to report for the Golden State Warriors. Both teams on the first leg of a back-to-back, so we are betting whoever Phoenix is playing tomorrow. Who are they playing tomorrow?
I'll just fade Phoenix entirely.
Oh, OKC. Oh, my God. OKC team total over is such a lock tomorrow.
I mean, the Suns are not officially dead, but they're about to be. So,
yeah, they are about to be officially dead. This is Golden State needing a win, trying to
Awful.
move up in standings, coming off of a loss, playing a Phoenix team that not only embarrassed them the last time they played, but they embarrassed them the last time they played. You have a Phoenix team that isn't able to guard anything, haven't been able to score since Kevin Durant left out the lineup, and now they're going up against one of the best defensive teams in the league. And the offense is coming off of a down game where they're gonna look to bounce back because Steph had 3 points. Like, there's literally nothing that could sit here and tell me to take the Suns here.
No, there's nothing. I mean, the only argument you'd make is that this team's actually pretty good at home, but they've lost 6 in a row. Every loss has been to good teams and by double digits. The Warriors had won, I believe, 5 in a row before the loss to the Rockets. And to point out a question here, since Durant's out, do you want to guess the Suns' straight-up record without Durant this season?
Can you tell me how many games they had?
They've played 16 games.
2-14.
That is correct.
Whew!
Well done. That's a heat check.
Wow, that is hey man. I was sitting there trying to do the math. I said I don't know why, but I want 14 losses in there. All right.
They have lost 14 of the 16 games of the season where Durant doesn't play. And to read off Booker's numbers lately, by the way, last 3 games, 39, 37, 40. They lost all 3 games by 10-plus points.
It ain't on him.
It doesn't matter. He said, y'all lost. I'm going to get mine. That's basically what he's doing right now.
Hey, I'm going to get my stat.
Yeah, in the words of Denzel Washington, I'm leaving here with something. So I'll go with the Warriors. If Booker has an off game, they're gonna lose by 30. And if he has a good game, they might get killed anyway. Give me Golden State. Houston just had a great defensive game plan to just deny, and Amin Thompson's so good defensively.
No,
the
Suns have any game plan.
The Suns have none of those guys anyway who can try to guard anyone.
No shot. They have any type of game plan that's anywhere close to what Houston had for Steph and this team.
If I told you Golden State's up 15 at half, and the Suns completely no-show this game again, nobody would be surprised. Give me the Warriors to bounce back. If they win out, they officially clinch a playoff spot, not a play-in spot. So there was a lot of incentive for Golden State to win out.
And they're screwed because they're not letting Devin Booker just shoot everywhere, score all up and down. Oh, they're so screwed. All right.
I heard rumors that Booker hates double teams. So maybe they'll use that too, but
San Antonio Spurs are on the road going to play the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers are laying 12.5 at home here. 227.5 is the total. Injury report. We've got Jerry Sohan out for the Spurs. Seth Lundy, Amir Coffey out for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is a questionable on the front end of a back-to-back. Who do they, first of all, playing back-to-backs this close to the end of the season is actually kind of insane to me. They play Houston. Oh, Kawhi's not playing in this game.
They can probably win without him, so you save Kawhi and try to win both.
And you try to win at Houston.
Yeah.
Spurs plus 12.5.
The Spurs team's so bad anyway. Castle's on the cusp of a triple-double every game, and he finishes one stat short every time. But
you can't lay double digits on the front end of a back-to-back like this with a team that has zero motivation.
Wait, what do you mean? Clippers have all the motivation.
The Clippers just want to win the game. They don't want to win the game by margin.
I mean, yes, but at the same point, they are still in a massive war for seeding right now.
Yeah, but this is exactly what happens. The Clippers are up relatively decent in this game, and then they realize and they remember we have a back-to-back against Houston tomorrow, and they start playing the bench more, and Spurs just chip in. Spurs lose by 8 or 9.
Okay, so you're going for a backdoor situation.
Yeah, I feel fairly confident that the Spurs are going to backdoor this. With the Clippers are 100% going to pack it in earlier than they probably should, and that probably leads to a backdoor.
Yeah, I'll point out the Clippers did play a back-to-back against the Mavericks, and they won the first game by 23, second game by 31. I think I'm going to go Clippers. I'm not going to bet this because Kawhi, I think, is going to sit, so I'll wait for the line to drop. But once the line moves to what could be maybe 10.5, I'll probably take the Clippers late. They've been so good. They've just been really, really good. I'm not saying I'm in on the Clippers for the playoffs because I still expect Harden to no-show a series and Kawhi maybe gets injured again, but this team's really good. This team's really, really good right now, and I do like what I've seen. So I'll take the Clippers, but once again, I'll wait for Kawhi to sit, and then I'll reevaluate what the new line is. So I'm gonna right now put it on hold, hit the pause button, and I'll resume in about I don't know, 7 hours. And we'll
It
see
was
what's
the
up.
exact same thing before, and plus they just played a back-to-back against Dallas, and now they're getting ready for another back-to-back. Like this is the sandwich spot between those games. I remember watching the Pelicans game and watched the Pelicans backdoor that cover. They were getting more points in that game, but I think this is still a pretty solid opportunity. I'm locked in on the Spurs getting the dub here in terms of the spread. And
Clippers are winning this game, to be clear.
oh yeah, for sure. That's why Clippers 1-10. Clippers 1-10, really good play here.
Yeah.
The extra 2.5 points on the spread makes the 1-10 very, very juicy. And I feel very confident that the Spurs are going to backdoor this. Or the Clippers might just let down early and then they have to battle back, but they're going to get the win. I feel good about that 1-10 display.
They might. If you want to go for a pivot, by the way, if you think that some guys get sat early, I don't mind Bogdanovich threes.
All right. Lock, dog, underdog. What are you doing?
You want me to go first, or you want to go first?
No, you go first.
All right.
You just
so for the lock, I know my YouTube play was Warriors halftime, full time. That went from like -130 to -180. I can't even take that anymore. I'm not going to go with the Warriors again, even though I do like them, obviously. I think I'm just going to go, you know what? I'll actually go for it. Give me the Knicks, -1.5. I'll take them. I think it's a spot where we know Tibbs doesn't believe in resting anybody. It's his main flaw. But I do think it's a good spot for the Knicks to get a much-needed win against this team who clearly does not care. Boston, I think, is going to be sitting everybody in this game because they're not playing for seeding. They have, once again, a couple games left that are meaningless. And the Knicks they're going to end up playing the Celtics in the playoffs, but I do think it's a good spot for the Knicks to look sharp at home. You said last year it was a similar situation. The Knicks were able to come back and win. Brunson's back. On the injury report, I don't really see anybody listed for the Knicks. I see Brunson probable, and that's basically it. McBride's probable as well. Yeah, once again, Brown, Tatum, Porzingis, they all might not play. Horford's out. Favorite switching. Good enough for me. Give me the Knicks -1.5, as I think Boston uses the bench squad for basically the entire game. For my dog, did I like any outright dogs, actually? I don't think I actually did. I think I was mostly favorites for the card today. So I'm going to go with what I think should be a closer game than people think, but I am going to pick this team to win on the road. I'm going to go with the Timberwolves 1-10 in this game. I think Milwaukee hangs in there. I'm not going to pick them to win, though, because I don't like the overall roster makeup, and Minnesota's been really good. But I think this game's close. They faced off earlier this season. Saw that game finish with a 2-point differential. Give me a close game. I'll go with the Timberwolves to win 1-10 at +196 as my dog. Taking the Grizzlies?
In some way, shape, or form.
Okay. You want
Let's start with the okay. You threw me off because you took Minnesota, and I was going to lock up Minnesota. Still potential for me to lock up Minnesota here.
You can still do Clippers 1-10 as your dog. We have different plays. You can take Minnesota if you want.
I can take Clippers 1-10 as my dog.
You can do Minnesota anyway. Minnesota can win by 20 and you win and I lose. It's not the same play.
Yeah. Wow, there's actually a number of things that I like today. And that's the thing that's making this hard. Okay, so we will go with, let's just stick with Minnesota, lay 5.5. I'll take the worst part of the number there. We need the Bucks to lose this game. For the dog, I will admit, I am split between doing a chalk parlay and just taking Clippers 1-10. So if you want to know the two options that I have, I was either going to do a chalk parlay with Memphis and OKC, lay the numbers both ways, play the chalk zone drop, cash. But I do actually kind of have that icky, disgusting feeling that the Spurs are going to make this close. And they're going to win, but they're going to cover.
I mean, do you want to take Spurs fourth quarter money line instead?
Nah. I haven't
That's extremely degen. I'm just asking.
No, yeah, it is. But I feel like if I go off the reservation here, that's how I guaranteed not to hit.
Okay.
Let's go with the gut. Clippers 1-10.
Yeah. I could find that price for you if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, you can start the underdog stuff. I'll pull up the.
Yeah, do that.
So what was your lock again? You're going
So
Minnesota.
lock Minnesota, laying 5.5. Dog Clippers 1-10.
I found Minnesota at 5, by the way, on FanDuel.
All right, cool. Let's see here. Underdog Fantasy. How do we? Oh man, there we go. How do we want to get to the money in Underdog Fantasy today?
By the way, Clippers 1-10 is plus 235.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Sounds about right. All right. I am tempted by Paolo Banchero or Franz Wagner in this game.
Okay. We can go Paolo. It's a big game.
All right. Was that 28.5?
For points?
Yeah.
That's massive.
Yeah.
I get it.
Franz
but
is
I'm
at
upset about it.
25.5.
It's still pretty high, too. I mean, do you want to throw in rebounds for Paolo or don't even bother?
We can. Yeah. Was it Onkongwu?
Yeah. I mean, Capella's still out. I want to see the rebounds, actually. I didn't realize Paolo went off last game, though. He had 33 and 18 against the Wizards.
Oh, no. Yeah. Yeah, bro. He's snapping, man. Like, he just
Okay.
really, really good player. It's just small market.
18 rebounds, though? Okay. I was not familiar with your game. He's had 31 plus points, by the way, in 3 of his last 4 against Atlanta. So I think we're taking Paolo.
All right. Wait, did we decide points or rebounds?
Yeah, I'm saying we'll go points.
Okay. 37.5 is the rebounds, by the way. Points
Okay.
and rebounds. Just throwing that number out there.
I'll just go for the points.
Look at them with turnover props up here as well. Can't wait to get into that in the playoffs.
Do they have Halliburton double-double?
Halle, let's see. Tyrese Halliburton.
It's very juiced on Underdog. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, 0.87.
Yeah, it's a pass.
We could go one more assist and get it 1.05x.
Problem is he hasn't really been good against the Wizards. That's the issue I'm running into, but I just wanted to mention his home streak. Because he has had a double-double in... sorry, let me just find the double-double for a second. Sorry. He's had a double-double in... let me just find the home games. Yeah, in 11 straight home games. So. I believe it's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I'm fine not belling Halliburton.
You want to stick with bench players? We go with McConnell?
Oh, yeah.
We did it with Valanciunas last night.
Yeah.
If he's listed. I'm not sure if he's going to be listed.
Oh, please be up here. Bub Carrington, Nemhart, Neesmith. Nope, he's not.
Of course he's not. All right, you know what? You want to pivot to Ja?
Yeah. Big game. He probably does a lot of this in the first half.
I think I'm in for PRA, though. When he plays, he's at least 35.
Yeah, 35.5.
Yeah, he's at least 36 PRA in 9 straight.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's go.
So
it's a good one. And Steph bounce back?
I'm not against it. I mean,
there's no shot they come. It's at 25.5. It's no shot they have a reasonable game plan for Steph today.
No, they don't have a reasonable game plan for anybody. It's why they lose every game.
And it's only 25. Yeah, it's 25 points.
It's a good bounce back spot for Steph.
Yeah.
And he was on a heater before that last game anyway.
Yeah, let's go with it. Steph Curry higher, 24.5 points. I'm sorry. Ja Morant higher, 35.5 PRA, and Paolo Banchero higher, 28.5 points. That is the Underdog lineup. 6x, $100 gets you $600 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN for a special pick first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. Looking forward to the games tonight. I will not be on the show tomorrow. I know it's you and Lonte. Lonte's back. I know he's had a voice issue, so hopefully he can go again tomorrow. But either way, point is I'll be on the Tennis Show. I'll be on other podcasts, so you know where to find me.
Yep. And I will be back. We'll be breaking down games, getting through another NBA slate yet again, and we are rolling into the playoffs. So with that, I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to end it like this. We are out of here.